So join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on WESN for Dollars and Cents.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Nah, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need, we can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
They believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploiting the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Welcome back to AM Prime this morning. So Tobago's Carnival is gearing up its 4th edition, growing each year as both a cultural showcase and an economic driver for the island. With new THA funding announced for entrepreneurs and ongoing concerns about transportation access, the festival is at a crucial stage in its development. Joining us to discuss opportunities and challenges ahead is Mr. Dexter Sandy, President of the Tobago October Carnival Association. Good morning, Mr. Sandy.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to all your viewers.
Thank you. So, Mr. Sandy, this will be the 4th installment of the October Carnival. How would you say the festival has evolved since the first time or its first edition in 2022?
Oh, definitely. I must say that Tobago has seen a growth consistent over the years. When this carnival came into being in 2022, many of the mass bands would have been their first attempt at carnival on such a magnitude. Some of them may have been a little more seasoned, having participated in national carnival over the years. But again, Tobago's version of carnival was always smaller than what happens in Trinidad at the national time of the year.
Yeah.
But one thing for sure, with October being a month where we're not competing with anything happening in Trinidad, we were able to put a lot more resources on the island. We individually put our minds to it, and the bands have really developed their craft and ensure that the product that we put on the road is just as good as, or even as I should say, on par with what happens in Trinidad. We do make sure that there's a unique element when it comes to the Tobago feel, so it's not a duplication of anybody else's carnival. Yeah, and I mean, from the events that happen, the fetes, the mass that has been put on the road, from Juve straight to Parade of the Band, we have seen the bands grown in size, and we have seen a larger number of bands coming out now to participate year on year.
Yeah. What would you say makes it distinctly Tobagonian compared to Trinidad's Carnival?
All right, so one feature that we really boast about is being able to parade on the road along the waterfront of Scarborough. You know, it's really a scenic point to really take advantage of, to boast about for both days of the parade, on Juve as well as Parade of the Bands. You know that Juve morning, the sun comes over the hill just up Scarborough, and it shines down on that stretch along the waterfront is one thing that a lot of masqueraders really take trying to capture the moment on the wall along Milford Road, taking their pictures, basically building a memory. Another feature of the Tobago Carnival is the safety aspect. One thing that we've done is really put measures in place over the years to ensure that there's safety right through the carnival season. Not even just only with regards to the road experience, but in terms of the fetes, persons who may choose to go on like island pool tours, any other activity that's happening on the island at that time. There's additional security measures put in place to ensure that we have all-around safety. So those are two key things that Tobago can boast about in terms of the carnival and the carnival product.
Right. So recently we would have seen Tourism Secretary Tasha Burris announce a $2 million grant and loan program to support entrepreneurs, particularly those connected to the carnival. From your vantage point, what or how crucial is this kind of investment to sustain and expand the festival?
Yeah, definitely for us, we really need to take advantage of opportunities like this. And when I say us, I'm speaking here of mass band leaders, the same entrepreneurs who may be deciding to throw an event or host an event, or even probably go into some sort of art and craft specifically for the period. Most of us are digging into our own pockets at this time to produce carnival. And any opportunity that will give us the ability to have cash flows in hand in advance to prepare for October is welcomed.
Yeah. Just for a really quick note for those of us that don't know, can you just tell us exactly when is Tobago Carnival happening, the dates, and then what we can expect on each day?
Yes. Well, Tobago Carnival really spans from the 21st to the 27th of October. We have been advertising the 24th to the 26th, that's the climax weekend, but activities literally start from the weekend before. Actually, from the 18th, there's Pan Omega, hosted by Pan Tobago Division. It's Tobago's version of Panorama, so it's literally Tobago steel bands competing for different prizes across the small, medium, and large bands categories. So that happens the Saturday before Diwali, that's the 18th. And then we roll into a week of activities where there will be fetes, there will be excursions, right down into Friday, which is the day just before Juve. There is a mass competition. Saturday morning, we have Juve bright and early from 4 a.m. until 10 a.m. Saturday night, we do have the night mass. There are a couple other events that are going to be happening as well in terms of parties. And on Sunday, there's the Parade of the Bands. Parade of the Bands, you're going to see at least just about 25 bands parading on the day on the road, of course, contemporary bands and traditional mass bands. So you're going to see Happy Law Sailors coming to the road along with Steel Pan, escorting them on the route, and other elements like that.
Yes. So, you know, with all these events and festivities leading up to the major days, the 24th to the 26th, you would have raised concerns about transportation, right? Noting that the flights and ferries for the carnival weekend were sold out within 24 hours. While that, I think, is great, it shows the amount of interest that persons have in going over to Tobago and participating in the carnival. I mean, you would have also mentioned the downside to it. So can you talk on that a bit?
Well, yes, the inter-island transport has been a challenge. I know it definitely has demonstrated that the demand is greater than the supply.
Yeah.
In terms of the boats, the inter-island ferry company, they would have added as many boats as possible for that period leading up to the carnival. We really appreciate it. When it comes to the Caribbean Airlines side, I know they would have done probably as much as they could do for now, but we, as the production team of the carnival, we would always come up for more. And I think we have reached a point now where we need to probably think outside of the box. When it comes to airlift, at various carnivals, additional flights are put on and rates are floated and allowed to really move with the market. That's probably something that we may need to look at rather than just, because we've been told that the route is not profitable, right, at the rate that is set right now, the subsidized rate. So is there a possibility of probably floating the rate? Because we know of masqueraders who are prepared to pay the price.
Right.
There are charters that would have been run to Tobago in previous years, probably something that the Tobago House of Assembly can look at if it means doing a charter or two, or subsidizing what additional seats may be required of us. It's not the usual business as usual for Caribbean Airlines at that particular time because the resources are stretched. So let's meet them on the half. Let's see how we can make that route profitable at that peak time,
Yeah.
Things like that may be part of the conversation that should have been had like months ago in preparation for what we're going to see in the next 3 weeks. But I don't think it's too late. I still think the opportunity is there to have the conversations. Let's see what possibilities are there in terms of adding the additional airlift.
Do you know if there has been inquiries by persons who, or by a certain number of persons who are interested in still coming over to Tobago? Because I know some people are very last minute with their plans, even though, this is something that most persons plan ahead. But have you been seeing the discussion?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Our band members, or band leaders rather, have been gathering data on masqueraders who still don't have a ticket to get to Tobago, whether it be by boat or by plane.
Right.
So what literally we have been doing is compiling lists, right, in the hope that there is some sort of insight into additional airlift would be put on the system, and then we will now try to negotiate on their behalf to obtain these tickets. So I could tell you definitely bands have been gathering names over the past few weeks with the hope that there would be some sort of relief coming soon.
Right. When it comes to the amount of people on the island during this time, has Tobago, I mean, I think I went the first year, and it wasn't as bad in terms of traffic and crowd, and I think the first year there was a good amount of people, but then by the second and third year, I heard people talking about, it was just way too much people, right? So how is Tobago looking at that aspect and managing the crowds, managing the traffic on the road? Are things being put in place for that?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that's a good problem to have, in terms of Tobago's kind of being oversubscribed. I mean, what we've done, we've chatted with the hoteliers and the bed and breakfast members, and nobody has said to me that they've reached 100% capacity and they can't take any more arrivals.
Right.
When it comes to the car rentals, they always boast about the high numbers, but they've never said that they cannot meet the demand. When it comes to the traffic management or the safety, the Toronto Police Service, they always bring up additional officers at that time of the year, to supplement what's happening on the island. So I think we really have management systems in place to deal with all the increased influx of persons on the island. And so far, we have never really gotten any negative feedback that Tobago was gridlock on the roads, or persons were reckless and the authorities weren't there, or they weren't able to get accommodation. Probably accommodation at a certain price point might not be suitable for some.
Right.
But we have never had a situation thus far that says that we're not able to facilitate the visitors on the island.
Right. When it comes to the flights and the ferry options, have you all gotten a short answer yet as to if more sailings or flights will open up in time?
Well, what we have done, we have spoken to Secretary Zarisha Hackett on the matter, as well as the festival's commission CEO, Mr. Kun Kawan. because there is a team assembled to literally lead the carnival and all the different activities, and they are part of it. And Secretary Hackett has given her commitment that she has direct line of communication with the Minister of Finance, who is the line minister for Caribbean Airlines, and also the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, in terms of having that personal conversation to see what are the possibilities of giving us that relief. Because the demand has been demonstrated. I mean, you could look back at the data over the years, and definitely they would see the growth in terms of the number of travelers that come to the island. So it's something that could have been anticipated. It's just putting the systems in place to ensure that the additional seats are made available. But Secretary Hackett has given us the assurance that she's actively working on it, and for us to stand by, and we're really hoping that those additional seats could be brought on board as the demand is there. Persons are ready to come to Tobago.
Yeah. I saw in a recent article, Ms. Tasha Burris, also she emphasized authenticity and warned against selfish agendas overshadowing the festival. So from the association's perspective, how do you ensure that the October Carnival grows without losing its cultural essence and, you know, trying to fit a lot of things in, or evolving per se, but without losing that aspect of Tobago that I think people love and will come there for, you know?
Yeah, but definitely the mass bands, we try to ensure, and one thing that we've asked for this year as an association, as an executive, is that we place a lot more emphasis on the traditional mass. There is an element of traditional mass characters that may vary from other traditional mass characters in other islands. And so in Grenada, everybody speaks about the jab, right? Traditional mass for them. We have elements such as the mud mass experience. We have the Blue Devils. We have so many other characters that we're asking, you know, let's place, we've tried within our association, we're asking for new bands that are coming on board to come on board with some traditional elements to help boost what we offer and show that culture side of Tobago originating from Tobago. I know that this year, Mud and Mud, they are trying their best to really enhance the mud experience. Last year, they had a defined mud festival the Friday night into Juve morning. This time around, they're trying something different, and it's really to bring out that Tobago-ness, as you said, in the mass that is unique to Tobago. Outside of that, I would say at least 98% of the bands registered on the road, they are owned by Tobagoans, and as such, they try to make sure that whatever is presented would showcase Tobago in a very impactful way. Even when it comes to like the lunches that we offer on the road, the goodie bags, we make sure that the delicacies in there, you do get your sugar cake, your Bmobile, those sort of things. Mass bands are actively doing that and putting it in goodie bags. So when you leave Tobago as a visitor, you're going back home with some part of it, of Tobago with you, and remembering what Tobago really gives.
Yeah. In terms of when it comes to, let's say, the more modern aspects of Carnival, and I'm speaking about the fetes and the various events or Carnival themed parties, the Juves, and you know, I know there are a few of these from Trinidad that are now debuting or in Tobago for this year. How have you all, you know, welcomed that or welcomed these various events? One of them that I'm speaking of is ICNTT. I think this year is the first time ICNTT will be in Tobago. Has this been a major part of the Tobago Carnival for this year especially? Well,
the fetes that have come to Tobago, as you rightfully pointed out, they've come to Tobago to partner with Tobago promoters. So ICNTT as a brand is in Tobago, but they have teamed up with Dynasty Events. They normally, as a Tobago entity, they host an event called Paint, which the concept is very similar to Stinkandati. So this event on Carnival Friday morning is a collaboration of Paint and Stinkandati. Stinkandati being the bigger brand, I guess might be the easier name to roll off in terms of persons. Yeah. But it is a collaboration. Any other event that you see that may have been a part of Trinidad's Carnival calendar, and now you're seeing it in Tobago, they're all collaborations. We in Tobago, we took the step this year to try and partner up with particular brands to grow the experience here in Tobago. It's pretty similar to, for example, in tourism, you will look for a name brand hotel chain to be a part of your destination. So it draws a lot more persons to the destination. They wouldn't just only participate in that particular one brand, but they will venture out and see what else is there to participate and take advantage of. So I think in an instance like Stinkandati, partnering with Paint, it will bring more persons on the island, yet specifically for that event. But they will venture into other events because there are a number of boat rides that are scheduled. There are some brunch type events. Yeah. Even the mass bands will benefit from the additional persons coming to the island by this one particular brand. So there's where we're really hoping to see the positive results from those sort of collaborations. Mm-hmm.
What is your, let's say, vision or goal for the next 5 years of Tobago Carnival? Where does Tobago hope that this festival ends up?
Yeah, we are really aiming for this festival to bring a level of awareness of Tobago, right, to the rest of the world. Tobago, being the sister isle, tourism base, that's what we focus on. That's where our main economic activity comes from. An activity such as Carnival, bringing so many people to the island at one point in time, it could only result in these persons returning to the island at other times of the year to come and really soak in and probably experience Tobago outside of Carnival. Mm-hmm. We offer so many things that are unique when it comes to the Nyland pool, the no man's land experience, that whole Pigeon Point atmosphere and what Pigeon Point offers. There's Store Bay, there's Castara, there's Palativere, there's Pirates Bay in Charlottesville. Those are some of the iconic spots on the island. And if we could give persons the taste of this during Carnival, it would resound in additional persons coming to the island year round. So really and truly, Carnival's main purpose is to bring that additional tourism lift to the island, bring Tobago to a higher level on the map in terms of destinations that persons would want to go to. And really, it will benefit us here on the island in terms of economic activity. We're going to see a lift in revenue across all sectors because, by and large, we're all connected.
Yeah, so then, the goal is to use the Carnival to kind of drive or push the tourism sector a bit more in the next coming years. Okay. And for our viewers, where can persons go to find more information if they want to look at a schedule or just to get some general information about that week, that Carnival week?
All right. So definitely there's the welcometobago.com. You can go to www.welcometobago.com and you will see the calendar of events there under the management of the Tobago House of Assembly. Some major events are listed there. There's also on Instagram, the Tobago Promoters Association. Their calendar of events are highlighted on their Instagram, so you can see all the different activities that will be taking place over that week. And then there are the individual mass bands. You will be able to get their IG information and or Facebook information on the Welcome Tobago site as well. So you could check out the different bands. There's Iconic Mass, which is my band. There's Fog Angels, Jade Monkey, Casato, Vogue, MVP, Marslin, Ned, Blush Carnival, so many Friends Carnival. There's so many mass bands that are on social media. You can also Google it. and you would see the different options in terms of being able to come on the road and enjoy the festivity. Not just come to Tobago and watch as a bystander, but actually come and participate in what is deemed the most affordable and the safest carnival in the region.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mrs. Andy, for joining me on the program this morning and, just opening our eyes a bit more to Tobago Carnival and what we can expect and all of that.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, so that brings us to the end of our show this morning. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget that you can find us on our YouTube or Facebook, where you can leave your comments and suggestions for us to engage with you. And you can head to WESN.cc to engage with us now, and your comments can be featured right here on AM Prime. So I will leave you with this. Today is a great day to smile and be happy. Yeah, today is a great day to smile and be happy. So stay safe, stay inspired, stay informed, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
WESN.
Remember waking up early just to catch your favorite cartoons? WESN brings